Please have a seat. No, we would have this. We have another one. Great. Okay. You know, this entire notion of talking to all of us, and what most of you are here in this particular day as invitees is intended essentially to celebrate the notion of experiences. And I'm emphasizing this point of celebrating because somewhere along the line, the most fruitful sharing happens when celebration takes place. Most fruitful sharing doesn't happen when a process is put behind it. That's why some of you who work in large companies know knowledge management systems don't work, because people don't learn anything from there. Because we don't share, we don't celebrate experiences. And the idea was that there are some of us who've been through understanding the freedom proposition and have participated in that. So the idea was to help surface your experiences. How is it that you have connected to freedom? What is it that you consistently anticipate or look forward to whenever there is thinking about your goals and your life plans? So it will be good if you could understand from each one of you whatever your thoughts are. And since we have promised that it's going to be unstructured, so there is no questionnaire, you can see that. We will take it as the conversation goes, right? So we can, for all practical purposes, assume there's nobody else listening to us. And you're my guests. So maybe we could start with you, sir.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. I'd like to start by saying that, one comes in from a very traditionalistic point of view in that sense. We've heard about innovators over here, but going back to the kind of work that one has done, I would say that 24 years ago, one had a salary of, let's say, starting salary of around 2,000 rupees. And at that time, maybe a princely sum, but now, of course, it's nothing. So one point that one came across very clearly was that over a period of time, inflation really eats into the amount of money that you earn. And therefore, going forward, one has to plan and see what one's ends up earning. And in that sense, one has to not only plan out, you also need to be very clear about the kind of goal that you want to achieve in life. So what is it that you're looking forward as your life goes? I think a strong point came out by Brahmanan where he said that it is your goals which push you up. It's not your problem that the goals that pull you up, and not the problem that push you up. So in that sense, I would like to say that it was important to get a clarity on the kind of goals that one has, and then to draw out a clear line of direction, and then have a plan wherein you have these savings coming up every month, and they would then eventually lead you up to be able to meet those goals. So that was a good take from Freedom. Also in terms of getting a clarity on the goals, many a time we don't think about these things too much in the family. You earn and you save, and it is meant for certain kind of goals, but it's not very clearly defined goals. So it also forces you to come out, talk to your wife, talk to your family, and come out with a very clear set of goals that you want to have. I'm talking this purely from the financial goals that one has in life, and not with regard to the kind of dreams that one is talking about here. The plan that you do also helps you to then gain a kind of a freedom wherein you are mentally maybe at peace, and then you can maybe then look forward to the dreams that you have in life. So that has been what my understanding of the whole process.
One thing which interests me, so you said very often we don't get to talk about these things in the family. Just help us understand what does that mean. I thought we keep talking about ye karna hai, wo karna hai, and you say what's the difference?
We talk about our goals, but very vaguely. We don't put it down on paper. So with this financial planning, I think how it has helped me is that I have become very clear that, okay, you think about your daughter's marriage, but you don't understand, okay, 20 years down the line, how much you'll have to spend. So with all this, I have become more clear that now how much we need to save and how we can meet that goal. That's just one goal I'm talking about. Then son's education. You think you will, okay, maybe he'll get into engineering college, then what? So by doing this exercise, I have at least become more clear that how much you need to save. So that's how. And we have been more open in our discussions about that, actually.
You've been more open about it?
Yeah.
Okay. Usse pehle, vague.
It was very vague.
Vague.
Very vague, yeah.
Yeah, I suppose very often this is like a casual conversation. हाँ ये करना है, वो करना है. So ये करना है, how will it happen is the connect that you are experiencing. In Sandeep's case, I guess it's been some time from 2,000 rupees to wherever it is now. Where is your life journey?
For me, Ffreedom Financial started when we thought of buying our own house. We always knew that we have to buy a house, but how to buy the house and how to make things happen, we knew nothing about it. Since my husband is sailing most of the time, it was solely my responsibility to find a house, and he would just come and do the paperwork. That's how it was. I came across Ffreedom Financial through Just Dial.
Okay. Very funny.
When I had Hemant and Mr. Banker come to my place, explain us a lot of things, very frankly. I am not a person of economics, so I could hardly understand what all they said.
Yeah.
But what I knew was, ghar ho jayega. I knew that. And then I met Vinita, who is now my financial planner. And Vinita and I and Sunita actually went all out. And today, in 6 months, we bought a house. And that time I was expecting my second child. So I was house hunting when I was almost 8 months pregnant, with already a 15-month-old child at home. And we had just separated from our joint family. So it was a lot of, how it is. Yeah, very much, with the husband not around. But I guess we managed it and it's all happened. And I'm very thankful to Ffreedom Financial, especially Vinita. And I've just found a friend in her, very frankly.
Yeah?
It's very nice to talk to her always.
Congratulations.
I know I can just call her anytime.
I know I can call her anytime. What does that mean? Does that bother you? Call her anytime for what?
I know the right times to call her in.
Okay, the right times to call her. So what, is it a sense of a friend in need, or is it a sense of assurance that you are seeking and calling Tulika consistently?
Both, I guess, because I know she guides me well, and I also know that even if it's not finance, I can talk to her.
About other things as well?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. She says yes, so it's good. That's good.
Absolutely. Niiraj, what have your experiences been so far?
Okay, because of my kind of work, I'm constantly meeting a lot of financial planners. And my uncle in the UK is a financial planner.
Oh, I see.
So, and the family's got quite a bit of financial planning done. But it's funny how I come from a very entrepreneurial family. And I think we're always very clear about where we want to take our business, and we're very clear on those particular goals. But then the rest of life seems to just happen. And, I got married, and then, so suddenly, instead of just thinking for myself, now we're thinking as a, joint couple, etc. But you don't get a chance to really put concrete plans into place. Not in the way that I would run my business. It's very clear, the top 5 goals are there, it's very easy to see everyone's working towards them. But in our life, we tend to be less structured in that particular way. And having met so many different financial planners through the work that we do, Ffreedom really stood out. They were very clear from day one that they were really going to charge, fees up front, for the planning. And I think that always gave me a feeling that, okay, these people were going to be independent about what sort of advice they were going to give. I remember writing out a check to my banker for a particular investment, thinking, I'm probably being missold on this particular product.
You know?
Yeah. And, when we had the financial planning done, Haran, said, well, those two things that you bought, it really doesn't help your particular goal. And in fact, it will impede major cash flow from you achieving your stated goals. So, I think we're all aware of that. But this fact that where they decide, to charge, I think really makes so much sense, because then I know I'm going to get value. And, Ffreedom as a company is valuing itself. So, it really gave me that confidence that these were people that were going to really take care and really didn't care in terms of, what the products they were selling, and they were really trying to find out what did you want.
Okay.
And then the process by which they went about it, I think, was very, revealing, because, when they take you through the initial questionnaire that they get you to fill in, you begin to realize, what sort of gaps there may be. It's unfortunate right now that my wife couldn't be here, but, she would have been really able to add a couple of things on that. But it's been great, because then thereafter, they've been monitoring things for me, and I feel now that I can take care of, my business and not really have to worry about this. I get phone calls, I get emails whenever things are coming due, or new opportunities come about, or just to say hi, And I'd really like to thank Sumit, for putting this particular day together, because I think it's been incredible. I think it's been eye-opener, and they've innovated. From the word go, they've always looked to innovate. So, you are standing out, from the crowd, and people like to do. We always say people who stand out are easy to refer, and it's been great. So we've really enjoyed, working with you on that.
This notion of you were mentioning that the process that they use using the questionnaires, it allows you to think through further. What has your experience been, if I may ask, Sandeep, come back to you?
Like I think we made a point earlier was regarding the goals. The process takes you through that what do you want to achieve in your life in terms of the kind of goals that you have.
So does that assume that you know what you want to achieve, or does it also allow you to think through this?
It allows you to think through this, because many a times you may not have put your finger on the correct goal.
Yeah.
Like there was an image about the car is hazy but not clear. So many a time we have a general fizzy idea as to what we want to do, but it's not crystallized. So it needs to be crystallized, it needs to be clear for the goals to come through. And the process takes you through that process. And many a time there could be areas that you may not have thought about. And the process also kind of helps you to look at those areas.
Okay.
So you actually come out with something which you may not actually have realized it is required to be done. So that way it helps a lot. And I think both of us would share that, yeah.
So for you, assuming this was not to happen the way it has happened with you, and you've seen your experiences, maybe other friends, and so what would stand out as something which you think was worth putting your mind, time, money, whatever that you put in with Ffreedom? Why would it be worth your while?